Hey, what's up, Spurs fans and people that are unlucky enough not to be Spurs fans? Just wanted to go over our game against Denver from the other day. I'm actually shooting this after the back to back, so we did lose the second game of the back to back, but I just wanted to go over the first game, which we did end up winning in Denver, Colorado. First thing, I'm just happy for our guys to win up in Denver. It's super hard to play any sports up there, of course, with the altitude, just thinner air, hardest to get oxygen into your lungs. It's not rocket science, of course. It's just high altitude, mile high city, and it's just harder to stay conditioned up there and just to breathe or do anything. I was actually noticing early in the game, if y'all had caught it, you kind of see Wemby. I think it was later in the second quarter, he was huffing and puffing a little bit, maybe even later in the first quarter, just trying to kind of adjust to the altitude and catch his wind, and just get used to the climate up there. Um, but yeah, just happy for the guys to win a tight game like this. Again, this was the first game of the back to back, which we did end up winning. But just get started here with Wemby. It's always the easiest place to start off. And he had one of the best games of his career, to be honest. 14 for 22 from the field. He shot 63% from the field. Can't ask much more than that from him. Of course, I guess past traditional big men, you're used to seeing them maybe shoot 70% from the field. Shaquille O'Neal type numbers, maybe stuff like that, where they just camp in the paint the whole time and everything's coming from down low in the paint for the most part. For this game though, with Wemby, he played like a perimeter style player. He was playing like a Kevin Durant out there. He would get some stuff in the paint, but most everything was perimeter based this game, and that's where he was getting his points out there on the perimeter. But yeah, if you see here, 33 minutes, he was 4 for 6 from three as well. He hit a ridiculous one where he was off the dribble and he steps back and shoots right over Christian Brown, and yeah, just sniped it right in his face. It was ridiculous to watch. It was uh, it was like a Kevin Durant style step back, but at 7'4", and yeah, it's pretty scary hours for the NBA once he really starts knocking those down, and he's starting to get consistent with his 3-point stroke. Again, 66% from three in this particular game, 3 from 4 from the free throw line, so really efficient there. And then just stupid numbers, 35 points from the field, 18 rebounds, 2 blocks, a steal. Um, I was talking about it in my video of the second game of the back-to-back, but if you hadn't watched the replay on this one, I thought Vassell just stole the ball um, pretty much on his own. He read the passing lane really good, and he got into the passing lane to get the steal, but the pass probably would have ended up getting there. But if you watch the replay, Wemby actually tips that pass and slows it down so Vassell can slide in to get that steal. Then he got the dunk to ultimately seal the game there. But yeah, Wemby plus 17 on the plus minus. Um, yeah, just an amazing game, great game from Wemby. We're starting to get used to seeing that. Honestly, is kind of the standard he holds himself to, and we're starting to hold him to a high standard here in San Antonio as well. He's a young player. We're going to let him make mistakes. Of course, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but we're not going to be heavily critical of Wemby because he does so many great things. You can't really nitpick the bad things too much. But with that being said, he's still open to critique. We're still going to critique, you know, where we see things he can improve on. And I feel like Wemby's always going to be the first one to critique himself and always try to be better and just pick apart his game, because no matter how great your game is, I've never seen someone play a perfect game in the NBA. I've never seen someone score 100 points on 25 or 25 shooting with no turnovers and perfect defense. Like, no matter what you do, you can always nitpick and be better. Um, but yeah, the one thing you can nitpick from Wemby's game is the 7 turnovers. We still ended up winning, so it wasn't didn't affect us too much as far as the end result of the game. Um, like I was saying, I'm shooting this after the second game of the back-to-back, which we did end up losing. Russell Westbrook was hounding Wemby, forcing some turnovers, and he gave him not as much trouble this game. He scored 35, but he was giving him trouble again when Wemby tries to get low on that rip through move. Westbrook is just all over it. Just ripping the ball when he brings it down low, and that's still something Wemby's learning to be better at. Which is fine. He's already such a good player at a young age. He's ahead of time in his progression. So we'll take the good with the bad, and it's way more good than bad right now so far. But yeah, Steph Castle here as well. He's always so aggressive. He has some off games, but what he brings defensively pretty much always makes up for whatever his weaker points are on offense. He's still working on his offensive game. But yeah, 8 points, only one turnover, so that's great. 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 for 4 from three. And 3 from 8 from the field. He played just about 25 minutes, 24 and a half minutes. Yeah, Steph Castle, he's always aggressive. He's already, I don't want to say one of the best, but one of the, we'll just say a very, very good perimeter defender, already at the NBA level. If you haven't watched Castle play or watched a full Spurs game with him yet, where he gets a good amount of minutes, 20 plus minutes, he's just a dog on defense. He goes around every screen, fights through every single screen. He's guarded some of the best guards in the NBA already this season, and if you look at the advanced stats, the time that Steph Castle is on these guards, he gives everyone a bunch of trouble. If you had seen towards the end of this game, whenever they were trying to inbound the ball, they couldn't even get the ball in from Sohan, Wemby. Castle wasn't in for that possession, but he kind of brings the same kind of energy just all over his man. You won't really get his impact just from looking at the numbers here. Kind of like with Wemby. I mean, Wemby's numbers were amazing this game. Steph's numbers were solid. But again, you have to watch the game to really see the impact because they do so much stuff that's not on the stat sheet. Just dogging people, making their shots harder. Again, in this game, Wemby had 2 blocks. He might as well have had 8 because every time he's in the paint, people just dribble through. People might pass it, someone thinks they're wide open, and Wemby's behind them. They just pump fake and kick it back out. People don't even think about shooting when he's down there. People are getting more used to him being in the league and getting used to how much ground he covers with his wingspan. And yeah, he just alters the whole game just being in the paint. Again, only 2 blocks this game on the stat sheet, but might as well have been 8 blocks with all the shots he affects down there. All right, Harrison Barnes. Just never really mad at Harrison Barnes. He always makes the right plays. An off game here, 40% from the field, 4 for 10. 0 for 3 from 3, missed all of his threes. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. The 1 turnover. Yeah, never really mad at Harrison. This is an off game for him, but he's a veteran. He missed his threes this game, but he's never taking bad shots. He'll get in the post and just bully guys still at this age. Just a veteran presence on the team. He shows guys the right way to play basketball, just like how Chris Paul does for us. And yeah, he had an off game, but we're not really worried about it. Still a really good athlete for his age. Still plays very good defense. Not so much one-on-one like when he was younger. He's still a good one-on-one defender, but his team defense is great. He knows where to be on defense. Excuse me. He always knows where to be on offense as well. Yeah, so just a veteran player you'd love to have on your team. All right. Barnes got 31 and a half minutes. Vassell played 36 minutes. 7 for 16 from the field, just dunking all over boys out there. It was great to see Vassell getting in the paint and just dunking on dudes. He's really athletic. I love to see him getting in the paint more because that's just going to open up his step backs for his threes, his free throw line jumpers that he loves to get to. And yeah, we love Vassell in San Antonio. I know there's been some talk about possibly him being in a trade package. It hasn't been loud talk, but we've been talking about possibly getting De'Aaron Fox. Um, I can't speak for all of San Antonio, but as far as I'm concerned, Vassell is untouchable. We're not trading Vassell for anything, in my opinion. I don't think he's our second option scoring wise, but if we're able to make the trade for De'Aaron Fox, just using picks for maybe this year and next year, we have some picks down the line when Wemby's going to be basically in his prime that I wouldn't want to trade, because if we get a lottery pick with Wemby in his prime, um, that's going to be great. We're just retooling even more while we're competing for championships. But yeah, I'd say Vassell is basically untouchable. If we pick up another all-star to put alongside Wemby, and Vassell is our third scoring option, to have a guy that can give you 20, 30 points any given night. I mean, he doesn't quite average 20, but I could see him being a third scoring option and giving you 17, 18 points every night on efficient shooting, um, along with very good defense that he provides. So yeah, I mean, Vassell is part of our future as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, 7 for 16, 43% from the field. Um, we want to see him shoot 15 plus shots every single game. I never want to see him under 15 because you're so good on offense. We always want to see him being aggressive. 1 for 4 from three, so an off night from three, which happens, but we still want to see him put him up. 18 points from the field. He was minus 18 plus minus, but doesn't really reflect who he was as a player. Just kind of shook up that way this game. 2 steals, 6 assists, which is great to see with the 6 rebounds. Uh, no turnovers, so yeah, that minus 18 is kind of weird, but it just happens sometimes. But yeah, solid game from Vassell. I mean, 1 for 4 from three. Um, Even called an off night from the 3-point arc. But yeah, still gave us 18 points, no turnovers, 6 assists, 6 boards, with the solid defense. Like I was talking about Harrison Barnes earlier with Chris Paul. Um, there's pretty much never a time where Chris Paul makes a play and I'm just like, damn it, Chris, what are you doing out there? That was stupid. He's pretty much always making the right plays. He'll get to his mid-range jumper time to time. It'll leave him open. He's been a bit off with his jumper lately, but even when he shoots those shots, I'm never really frustrated with him. It's pretty much always a good shot, even though his shot's been off. He always takes good shots. He always makes the right plays. He's our floor general. He's the point guard. When he's coming down on the fast break, you see him navigating traffic. When he's up in the half court, you see him navigating traffic. Hey, you go over here. I saw him on a fast break the other day. I forgot if it was Keldon or who it was, but he told him, hey, say Chris Paul's running the middle. Keldon's running on the right side of him. He told Keldon, hey, cut through the paint. So he cut straight down the middle. Harrison Barnes goes over for the corner 3. Chris Paul hits him in the corner, wide open 3. He sees into the future with his court vision. He knows exactly what's going to happen before it even happens. And, makes the right play 99% of the time. He was 3 for 11, so yeah, an off shooting night. 1 for 6 from 3. His 3 ball is hit or miss, but it is what it is. But he had 8 rebounds, which is great. Great for his height, but here you go. 11 dimes and 1 turnover. 7 points, but we're not really looking to him for too many points. I mean, if he gives us 10, 12 points, he's probably going to give you, 7 to 14 assists with it. So yeah, he's just our floor general. He always does the right thing on the court, honestly. So we love having CP3 here in San Antonio. Zach Collins. Oh no. This reset up, you guys. Sorry about that. Come back here really quick. Uh-oh. Please bear with me for a second, you guys. All right. So when you killed the Clippers. Whoa. I can't find the date for this game again, guys. Please bear with me for a second here. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. I think I accidentally swiped back on my MacBook there. All right, but we're back. Yeah, Chris Paul. Can never say anything bad about Chris Paul. He's the point god. Zach Collins, 2 for 5, 0 for 1 from 3. He usually gets 1 to 3 3-point attempts per game. It seems like when he's in there, he's an okay 3-point shooter. If he hits one, it opens up the floor and spaces it out. Don't love him shooting them for the most part, but I see why we kind of need him to, because he hits one every once in a while. It makes the defense. I respect the spacing. 5 rebounds, block and a steal, 4 points, 5 fouls. Yeah, I mean, Zach's a decent backup power forward or center, whatever you want to play him as. I was saying in my other video, pardon me, I think Zach's probably part of our trade package if we make the trade for De'Aaron Fox, which I was kind of thinking about it first. I wasn't totally sure about it, but I think that would be a smart move for us as long as we're not giving up too many draft picks for our draft capital in these next coming years. We can give up a few, maybe 1 or 2, as long as they're not past 2027. That way we can retool with possibly a lottery pick or a first round pick while Wemby is in his prime and our whole team is competing for championships, like I was saying before. But yeah, we kind of have Zach here for now. He seemed like he was kind of going through some mental stuff. Maybe, who knows what it is. Life's not all about basketball, so who knows what he was dealing with. But he seemed kind of off. But now he seems to be doing good again. So that's good to see. Hopefully everything is going well with Zach outside of basketball, because that's not what all of life is about. Julian Champagnie, we love Julian Champagnie here in San Antonio with the contract he's on. I consider him untouchable. We're getting way more than we're paying for. He's outplaying his contract by a lot. 6 for 14 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. He's a 91% free throw shooter. Hit his 1 free throw this game. 15 points, 4 boards, only 1 turnover. -6 in the plus minus, but it can be kind of a misleading stat at times. But yeah, 25 minutes flat, which is kind of what we want him to play every night. If we can get 25 out of Champagnie, that's great. He's a very good defender as well. He's long, great team defender. He has a really good wingspan, so he really gets in the passing lanes and just bothers teams trying to run their offense there. We love Julian Champagnie here as well. Let's see, Keldon Johnson, 6 for 14, 3 for 6 from 3. He had 16 points, 1 turnover, 4 boards, a dime. Keldon played great. He had a big and one down the stretch when they triple teamed Wemby and he passed it down, and Keldon got that lefty layup and one down the stretch. Longest tenured Spur. We love Keldon here in San Antonio. But yeah, I think a lot of people in San Antonio are kind of at the same place. Keldon Keldon would probably be in our trade package with Zach Collins, draft picks, whatever it is, if we're able to pick up De'Aaron Fox or an all-star guard um, to put next to Wemby, because that's really what we need right now. Again, if we make the trade, I don't know if I said this in this video, but if you make the trade for De'Aaron Fox, um, we're the 7 or 8 seed at the end of the season. If we really make a push, we wanted to be, we get that all-star guard to put next to Wemby, and we still have Vassell as our third scoring option. You know, Vassell can pop off for 20, 25. He might give you 30 on a hot night. Then we have Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, who can give you 25, 30 any given night. Um, Fox can really distribute the ball as well. He's quick, he's athletic. I think he just turned 27, so he kind of just entered his prime. Um, he's from, I believe, Houston area. I think his family may live in San Antonio. He has, or maybe Houston. I don't know exactly, but he does have connections to the San Antonio and the Texas area. Um, Actually have a friend that went to high school with De'Aaron Fox before he got drafted in the NBA. So yeah, he has connections to the San Antonio area. Is basically what I'm trying to say. But yeah, we kind of think Keldon will be part of that package. Unfortunately, he's a good player. He definitely has a spot on a team. You know, he's kind of a spark plug type of player off the bench who can come in with that sixth man role. But he has a lot of breakdowns defensively. To be honest, he's not really consistent enough, in my opinion. I think a lot of people's opinion here in San Antonio. He was on this night. You know, he hit his threes. He had a solid game. You know, 16 points. He was a big reason why we won this game, because he was on offensively. But it's honestly just too up and down. I don't want to say he reminds me of Ginobili, because Ginobili is an all-time great, but he's kind of like a few steps down from Ginobili for sure. That's obvious to say with how good Ginobili is, but Keldon comes in, makes a spark. That's kind of where the comparison would end, because Ginobili played the passing lanes. He might give you 40 points on a given night with how great Ginobili is. But yeah, I kind of see Keldon as part of that package, unfortunately, and I hate to say it because he's our longest tenured Spur, and we love Keldon here in San Antonio. But that would kind of be how the business would probably shake up there. Um, but yeah, Trey Jones, another one of those players, like Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes. There's never really a time when I'm just like, damn it, Trey Jones, why did he do that? That was a stupid basketball player, stupid decision. He very seldom does that. 1 from 2 from the field. He's still coming back from his injury, so he's starting to get his legs back under him and kind of warming up again. 2 points, 2 dimes, 4 rebounds, only 1 turnover. Only played just under 17 minutes, so again, he's just kind of getting his legs back under him. Come down to Denver. Christian Brown is a dog. He's okay on offense. He's not the greatest offensive player, but he is so good on defense. I forgot who it was. They were going up and he ripped them all ball. It was nasty. He's the type of player we'd love to have on the Spurs, honestly. I think any team would love to have a Christian Brown. Kind of a glue guy. He does so much defensively. He's a great defender on the perimeter and a great help defender as well. He was really irritating us. And if you're an irritant to the other team, you're doing some good stuff on defense for the most part. Michael Porter Jr., he's a dog as well. He has a really wet jump shot. Another player any team would love to have. He's 6'10". No one's blocking his jumper. 9 for 14 from the field, 4 for 8 from three. It's kind of just standard for him. He put 22 points up on us. Only 1 turnover. Yeah, he doesn't really turn the ball over either. He's not really dribbling and going one-on-one with guys. He can do it, but that's not really his game. He's coming off of pin downs. He's coming off handoffs from Joker. And there's not really a risk to turn the ball over when you just catch it and go straight up into your jump shot, and you're just freaking wetting everything like like Michael Porter does. Great player. All right. Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA. Oh, no, not again. Let me get back again, guys. Yeah, Nikola Jokic. He's the best player in the NBA. me pull this back up again so I can show you all his exact stat line. All right, here we go. But yeah, of course, I live here in San Antonio. I'm a lifelong Spurs fan. Wemby's my favorite player, needless to say. But with how long I've been watching basketball, I won't be naive to the fact that Jokic is the best player in the NBA. Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Um, it's a close one with Giannis and Wemby, I'd say, but I'd still put him in there. If you want to win a championship this year, I'd probably take those four guys, Jokic, Luka, Giannis, SGA. I'd probably take those four guys over Wemby if you want to win a championship this year. Once year 3 starts for Wemby, it's going to be a lot closer, and I'm sure you can make an argument that he'll be top 3. Right now, I'd say he is top 5, but those four guys are above him: Giannis, Luka, SGA, and Jokic. But yeah, Jokic right here. 36 minutes, 15 for 36 from the field. He put up 36 shots. That's our strategy against Jokic. The Spurs strategy: let him shoot as much as he wants. If he puts up 55, 60 points and we lose, so be it. We're not letting him drop 15 dimes, then everyone just hitting threes all around, because that's when Denver's the most dangerous. But yeah, put up 36 shots. So, our strategy, I mean, it worked in this game. We won this one. But yeah, I mean, that's probably the best strategy to defend Jokic, in my opinion. Not everyone has a Wemby to put on him, of course, but say it was an off shooting night for him. All of his numbers are impressive. Most impressive for their offense, everything goes through Jokic. I know there's an advanced stat to kind of see how much time he was holding the ball. I didn't pull that up, but this guy has the ball all the time. Their whole offense runs through him. And yeah, he's the best player in the NBA in my opinion. Jokic is just an amazing player. Then we got Russell Westbrook, 31 minutes, 4 for 7 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, 8 dimes, 6 rebounds, 2 steals. He had 3 turnovers, 9 points. I mean, Westbrook's just a dog as well. As his career's been going on, getting later and later into his career, he's honestly becoming I'd say a pretty smart player. Honestly, he's a team player now. I mean, he always was, but as his athleticism is waning, he's doing more of the small things just to help out. And I said his athleticism is waning, but it's like, he was a super freak 1% athlete. Now he's just down to being a super athlete. He's still more athletic than 95% of the NBA. But yeah, he gave Wemby a lot of trouble. Come back up to it. I think it was, the 7 turnovers. I know Wemby still scored 35 points on 63% from the field, which just shows how great he is. But yeah, Westbrook gave him trouble. Like I was saying, I shot this video after the second game of the back-to-back, which we lost to Denver in the second game. But in this first game even, Westbrook was giving Wemby trouble. Wemby will try to turn around, bring the ball down low, maybe do his sweep through so he can get into his jumper, get hit on the wrist, and get the and one, whatever it is. But he's just so tall that when he brings it down, guys can just kind of swipe at the ball. And Westbrook was doing a lot of that, just kind of swiping at the ball, rip through. So Wemby couldn't really get into his move. Wemby's still learning how to keep the ball high, but he doesn't really catch the ball right under the basket so much. So it's not like he can just catch it and turn around and lay it up for the most part. He's normally coming off a pin down, whatever it is, catch at the free throw line, and then go into his moves from the free throw line. So if he dribbles this way or this way, there's a double team on either side. And then if he tries to bring the ball, pardon me, he tries to bring the ball down, rip it through and get into his jumper, Westbrook was just swarming on it and just giving Wemby trouble. So yeah, Westbrook is making a bigger impact on defense at this point in his career, at least versus the Spurs, because yeah, just giving Wemby all kinds of trouble. Even though he had a very good game, the second game of the back-to-back, he gave him a lot of trouble, even though he had another great game. Jamal Murray, bit of an off game, I guess you would say. Jamal Murray's a great guard. He's an amazing scorer. 6 for 17, 35% from the field, 2 for 5 from three, 7 assists, 14 points. So I mean, yeah, definitely an off game for Jamal. Um, but again, I didn't even make this point, but yeah, Steph Castle, 24 minutes, and the times that he was on Jamal Murray, he was giving him trouble. The time Steph Castle is on, I don't say any, but a large percent of all-star guards or star quality guards like Jamal Murray is, Steph Castle gives them a lot of trouble. They won't admit it, but these ball handling one-on-one superstar and all-star caliber guards do not like getting guarded by Steph Castle. He gives them a bunch of trouble, and he's only learning how to get better and better. He's just using his physicality and his instincts, his lateral movement to guard guys right now. He's good at team defense as well, but once Steph Castle, he's getting better every day. But once he learns how to really, really be a part of the Spurs system and learns guys' tendencies, and he's been in the league for his second year next year, so he's just gonna get better. But coming into year 3, he's gonna know people's tendencies, and he's really going to affect the game even more than he is now, which is crazy to say because he's already one of the better perimeter defenders in the NBA right now. And if you watch a full Spurs game and don't just look at his numbers, you'll see how much of a pest he is and how much he bothers guys on the perimeter. Strother, don't know too much about Strother, but he has a wet 3 ball, so I'll definitely give him that. Watson played 18 minutes. Don't really remember too much of what he did there. But yeah, I just wanted to go over things really quickly there. Again, grew up in San Antonio. I'm a lifelong Spurs fan, but I'm not naive. Jokic is still the best player in the NBA. If we're trying to win a championship this year, you take Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Luka over Wemby. But I'd seen a quote that was talking about Wemby, and it said he's learning where he's at in the NBA's food chain, and you better be scared once he learns, where he is in the pecking order, because Wemby is probably the alpha predator in the game right now. Because this guy, he's still learning how to do things, but he has the skill set, he has the frame. He's going to be, the best player in the NBA. Maybe not starting next year, but definitely by the time he's going into year 4, he is going to be top 3. He may not be the best player in the NBA. I honestly think he will be by year 4. I'm not just saying that as a Spurs fan, just as an NBA fan. I think he will be. And starting his 3rd year next year, it's going to be hard to name 3 players that are better than him right at that time. Like, Wemby is ahead of schedule in his progression. Our team's ahead of schedule in how we're competing. Steph Castle's ahead of schedule. We have Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes right now as our veterans, but once we kind of let those guys go and get some more young guys in there, the sky's the limit for the team. I'm just excited to see how we move on, what we're gonna do moving forward. See if we pursue the trade for De'Aaron Fox. I know Jimmy Butler's unhappy in Miami. One of my coworkers here in San Antonio was saying we should pick up Jimmy. I love Jimmy Butler, but we don't want him at this point in his career. I think he's 37 years old now. We don't want a 37-year-old dude on our team to compete for championships. I mean, if Jimmy Butler was available, I'd say at the beginning of the season, maybe we want to pick him up as a veteran. He'd be a great veteran to put alongside our guys and teach him. But Jimmy's going for the max contract. The Heat don't want to pay him a max contract. So wherever he goes, he's looking to get the bag. And we're not paying him a max contract in San Antonio. So I do not see us getting Jimmy Butler. If we can't get De'Aaron Fox, 10 years younger at 27 years old, He can create his own shot one-on-one. He's a great pick and roll player. It would just be Lob City in San Antonio, and if we make the trade for De'Aaron, we will be the 7 or 8 seed minimal. We might be better than that, but yeah, we're a playoff team. If we make the De'Aaron Fox trade, if we don't make that trade, we can still make it into the 7 or 8 seed this season. So yeah, just excited to see how things go. If you watch the video to the end, please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. You have a good one.